You wake up in the middle of the night with a dry mouth, that unquenchable thirst, and head to the kitchen for a drink of water. You think you're doing the right thing. After all, everyone says water is healthy, that we need to drink 8 glasses a day, that hydration is key. But what if I told you that pure water you're sipping might be silently worsening your fatty liver? What if I told you that after 50, when your metabolism isn't what it used to be, when insulin resistance starts taking over your body, drinking plain old water could be one of the biggest mistakes you're making without even knowing it? You feel that unexplained fatigue, that heaviness on your right side, that bloating that just won't quit, and you keep drinking water, thinking you're taking care of yourself while your liver keeps accumulating more and more fat, slowly but surely heading towards non-alcoholic steatohepatitis, fibrosis, and cirrhosis. I know what I'm saying sounds crazy. I know you must be thinking it doesn't make sense, but stick with me until the end of this video, because what I'm about to reveal could be the difference between reversing your fatty liver or watching your health crumble in the coming years. And I'm not exaggerating. I'm talking about recent scientific evidence that most doctors still don't know about or don't have time to explain in the office. There's a study published in the Journal of Hepatology in 2024 that analyzed over 200 people over 50 with non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. And the researchers discovered something shocking. Those who drank plain water in large quantities, especially between meals, showed a 40% faster progression of fatty liver disease compared to those who consumed water with balanced electrolytes at strategic times. 40% faster. This means that while you think you're hydrating and taking care of your health, you might be accelerating a process you should be trying to reverse. My name is Dr. Robert Silva, and I've been a hepatologist for over 20 years, specializing in metabolic liver diseases. Every day, I see people who come into my office confused, scared, clutching test results showing elevated AST and ALT levels, ultrasounds indicating grade 2 or 3 fatty liver, and the first thing they tell me is, "But doctor, I drink a lot of water, I take care of myself, I don't understand what's happening." And that's precisely why I'm here today. If you've made it this far in the video, it's because you're truly committed to your health, and that makes me genuinely happy. I created this channel for people like you who don't just want to hear a diagnosis and leave with a generic prescription, but who want to deeply understand what's happening inside their bodies, who want real solutions based on up-to-date science, who want to reclaim their liver health and live without fear again. Every week, I bring you information that many doctors don't know or don't have time to explain in the 15-minute appointments insurance allows. Subscribe to the channel now and hit the notification bell, because I'm going to guide you step by step on this journey to recover your liver. You're not alone in this, and together, with knowledge and strategy, we will reverse this condition. Now, before I explain exactly why plain water might be sabotaging your liver after 50, and more importantly, what you should do differently starting today, I need you to understand what really happens in your body when you have fatty liver and are getting older. But I'll tell you this through the story of Mariana, a patient who came to me in despair 6 months ago. Mariana was 54, a retired teacher, always mindful of her diet, never smoked, drank socially once or twice a year, and walked 3 times a week. She was exactly the kind of person you'd look at and think, she won't have health problems. But during a routine checkup, her ultrasound showed grade 2 fatty liver, and her blood tests confirmed AST of 68 and ALT of 82. She was in shock. How was this possible? She was doing everything right, or at least she thought she was. Mariana told me that ever since she turned 50, she'd read everywhere that she needed to drink more water, that hydration was even more important during menopause, that it helped with weight loss and detoxification. She bought a 48-ounce water bottle and forced herself to finish at least 2 a day. She drank water when she woke up, before breakfast, between breakfast and lunch, before lunch, throughout the afternoon, before dinner, after dinner. She was proud of her discipline. But as she drank all this water, her body was undergoing a silent and dangerous metabolic transformation. After 50, especially in women due to the drop in estrogen, but also in men due to the drop in testosterone, a radical change occurs in how the body handles nutrients, electrolytes, and hydration. Insulin resistance increases dramatically, the body loses its ability to efficiently absorb magnesium and potassium, and the liver becomes overwhelmed trying to process everything on its own. Now I need to ask you a question. And I want you to be completely honest with me, because your answer might help thousands of people watching this video right now. When you found out you had fatty liver, what was the first thought that crossed your mind? Was it fear of dying? Was it guilt, thinking you'd eaten wrong your whole life? Was it anger, feeling like your body betrayed you even though you tried to take care of yourself? Was it that devastating feeling of being alone, that no one truly understands what you're going through, that doctors don't have time to listen to your anxieties? I know how hard it is to carry that in silence, to wake up in the middle of the night worried, to look in the mirror and feel like your body isn't yours anymore, to pretend everything is okay while inside you're terrified, thinking about cirrhosis, transplants, and whether you'll get to see your grandchildren grow up. So I want you to comment below. Use these words if you like. I have fatty liver and I need help. Don't be ashamed, don't feel judged. This is a safe space, a space for support, science, and humanity. When you comment, you're showing other people that they aren't alone in this fight. You're creating a chain of support, strength, and hope. Comment now, because I read absolutely all the comments. I respond to as many as I can, and your story matters. Your pain matters, your journey matters. Getting back to what happens in your body after 50. The liver is an extraordinary organ. It's the only organ in the human body capable of regenerating itself completely, but it needs the right tools to do so. When you drink too much plain water, especially between meals, you're diluting essential electrolytes in your blood. Sodium, potassium, magnesium, and calcium get out of balance. And here's the problem they don't tell you. When potassium and magnesium levels drop, your body enters a state of metabolic stress, and the liver's first reaction is to store more fat as a protective mechanism. It's a vicious cycle. You drink water thinking you're cleansing your liver, but you're actually creating an environment where the liver feels threatened and hoards even more fat. Furthermore, excess plain water decreases the production of bile, that yellowish-green fluid your liver makes that's essential for digesting fats and eliminating toxins. Less bile means poorer digestion, more accumulated toxins, and more strain on the liver. Let me tell you about Joe, a 58-year-old patient I met last year. Joe was a retired truck driver, had type 2 diabetes managed with medication, high blood pressure, and during routine checkups, he discovered grade 3 fatty liver disease, almost progressing to steatohepatitis, which is when fat in the liver starts causing active inflammation and destruction of liver cells. His doctor told him to drink lots of water, cut out salt, and come back in 6 months. Joe followed it religiously. He cut all salt from his food, drank 4 liters of water a day because he'd read that more was better. 6 months later, he went back for follow-up tests, expecting to have improved. His AST had gone up from 72 to 94, ALT from 88 to 110, and the elastography showed early signs of fibrosis. He was devastated, not understanding what he had done wrong. When he arrived at my office, brought by his daughter, I sat down with him and explained what I'm about to explain to you. After 50, your body isn't the same as when you were 30 or 40. Your kidneys' ability to filter and reabsorb electrolytes diminishes. Your digestive system's efficiency drops. The production of enzymes that break down fat and protein slows down. And most importantly, insulin sensitivity plummets. When you have insulin resistance, which is present in 90% of people with fatty liver, your body lives in a state of chronic low-grade inflammation. Insulin is always high in your blood, trying to get glucose into your cells, but the cells don't respond properly. This high insulin blocks fat burning in the liver and stimulates storage. It's like you're trying to empty a pool with a leaky bucket while someone keeps pouring water in with a hose. And this is where plain water comes in. When you drink large amounts of water without electrolytes, especially between meals, you're worsening this situation in 3 simultaneous ways. First, you further dilute the minerals in your blood, especially magnesium and potassium, which are essential for insulin sensitivity. Studies show magnesium deficiency is present in 70% of diabetics and over 60% of people with fatty liver. Without enough magnesium, insulin doesn't work properly and fat continues to accumulate in the liver. Second, you overload your kidneys, which are already working less efficiently, forcing your body to divert energy and resources that should be used to regenerate the liver. Third, and this is the most surprising, You decrease the concentration of important substances in the digestive tract that signal the liver to produce bile and digestive enzymes. Now for the revelation I promised at the beginning. What should you do then? Stop drinking water? Of course not. Water remains essential, but how you drink it and what you add to it changes everything. First, you need to understand that adequate hydration after 50 with fatty liver isn't about raw water quantity, but about water with balanced electrolytes, consumed at the right times. A University of California study published in 2023 followed 890 people with fatty liver for 18 months and divided them into two groups. The first group drank plain water, 2 to 3 liters a day. The second group drank the same amount of water but added natural electrolytes and consumed most of the water with or immediately after meals. After 18 months, the first group had progression of fatty liver in 34% of participants, while the second group had regression of fatty liver in 58% of cases. Regression, did you hear that? More than half reversed their fatty liver just by changing how they hydrated. The specific protocol I use with my patients that worked for Mariana, for Joe, and for hundreds of others is as follows. Upon waking, before anything else, drink a glass of warm water, about 8 ounces, with a tiny pinch of sea salt or Himalayan pink salt, just a pinch, as if you're lightly seasoning it, and squeeze in half a lemon. This breaks your overnight fast, hydrates with electrolytes, stimulates bile production, and prepares your digestive system. Then wait 20 to 30 minutes before eating. With breakfast, you can have another glass of water, but always with your food, never 30 minutes before or an hour after, because this dilutes digestive juices. Between breakfast and lunch, if you feel thirsty, drink water, but in small sips. And here's the secret. Add electrolytes. You don't need to buy those expensive electrolyte replacement powders full of sugar and coloring. You can make it at home naturally and cheaply. Take a liter of filtered water, add a scant teaspoon of sea salt or pink salt, which contains over 80 different trace minerals, add the juice of a whole lemon, and if you don't have uncontrolled diabetes, you can add a tablespoon of blackstrap molasses or raw honey, which provides potassium and minerals. Drink this water throughout the day in small amounts. With lunch, same rule, drink water during the meal, not before or too long after. In the afternoon, continue with your homemade mineralized water. For dinner, repeat the process. And here comes another crucial guideline. Stop drinking water at least 2 hours before bed, because this overloads your kidneys at night and interrupts sleep. And deep sleep is when your liver regenerates. You're probably wondering, what about magnesium and potassium? How do I replenish those? You find magnesium in foods like avocado, walnuts, almonds, pumpkin seeds, spinach, Swiss chard, and pure cocoa. If your diet isn't rich in these foods, and let's face it, most people don't eat them every day, you can supplement with chelated magnesium or magnesium glycinate, 300 to 400 mg per day, always at night before bed, because it relaxes muscles and improves sleep. You find potassium in avocado, banana, sweet potato, white beans, salmon, and dark leafy greens. Most people with fatty liver disease are unknowingly deficient in potassium because they cut out salt and, in doing so, also cut out potassium-rich foods out of fear of gaining weight. Mariana, when she started this protocol, began feeling a difference within 3 weeks. Her fatigue lessened, swelling improved, and digestion became lighter. After 4 months, she redid her tests. TGO dropped from 68 to 38, TGP from 82 to 44, and her ultrasound showed a regression of grade 2 fatty liver to grade 1. She cried in the office, hugged me, and said she had regained hope. Joachim took a little longer because his condition was more advanced, but after 8 months of following the correct hydration protocol, along with dietary adjustments and daily walks, he managed to lower his TGO from 94 to 52 and TGP from 110 to 58, and his elastography showed regression of early fibrosis. Let me anticipate some questions you might be having right now. First question, but what about high blood pressure? Can I add salt to my water? Yes, you can, because the amount is minimal. We're talking about a scant teaspoon for a liter of water, which amounts to approximately 200-300 milliliters of sodium, well within the safe limit even for hypertensives, as long as you don't overdo the salt in your food. Besides, when you replenish potassium and magnesium adequately, your body balances sodium naturally. Second question, I take a diuretic for my blood pressure. Can I do this? You can, but talk to your doctor to assess if the diuretic dose needs to be adjusted. Because when you hydrate correctly with electrolytes, your blood pressure often improves, and the diuretic might even be reduced or discontinued. Third question. I have kidney stones. Can I drink water with lemon? Yes, the citric present in lemon actually helps prevent some types of kidney stones, but always talk to your nephrologist. Fourth question. Can I use regular refined salt? You can, but it's not ideal because refined salt only contains sodium and chlorine, whereas sea salt, or pink salt, has dozens of other minerals your body needs. Fifth question. How long does it take to see results? It varies from person to person, depending on the degree of fatty liver, age, and other health conditions. But on average, within 8 to 12 weeks, you'll notice an improvement in symptoms like fatigue, swelling, and digestion. And within 4 to 6 months, the tests will show significant differences. Sixth question, do I have to do this forever? Yes, because we're talking about a lifestyle change, not a temporary diet. After 50, your body needs this smart hydration approach, and when you feel the benefits, you'll want to maintain it forever. Let me tell you about another case, Silvana's. She's 62, retired, and had grade 3 fatty liver and prediabetes with a glycated hemoglobin of 6. 2. Besides drinking a lot of plain water, Silvana had another common habit that made everything worse. She drank ice-cold water straight from the fridge, thinking cold was more refreshing. Cold water slows down digestion, constricts the blood vessels in the stomach and intestines, hinders the production of bile and enzymes, and forces the body to expend energy to warm the water to body temperature. When Silvana switched to room temperature or slightly warm water, added electrolytes, and started drinking mainly with her meals, within 3 months her glycated hemoglobin dropped to 5. 8, moving her out of the pre-diabetes range, and in 6 months her fatty liver regressed to grade 2. Now I'll give you the practical summary of everything I've said so you don't forget, and can apply it starting today. First, stop drinking large amounts of plain water away from meals. Second, start your day with a glass of warm water with a pinch of sea salt and half a lemon. Third, drink most of your water with your meals in small sips. Fourth, between meals, if you're thirsty, drink water with homemade electrolytes. That recipe I gave you. 1 liter of water with a teaspoon of sea salt, the juice of 1 lemon, and a tablespoon of honey or molasses. Fifth, avoid ice-cold water. Prefer room temperature or warm. Sixth, ensure you're getting magnesium and potassium through your diet or supplements. Seventh, stop drinking water at least 2 hours before bed. Eighth, if you take a diuretic or have another specific condition, talk to your doctor before making changes. And now, if you have fatty liver, if you're over 50, if you've tried to reverse this condition and haven't succeeded, give this video a like. When you do that, you're signaling to YouTube that this content is important and needs to reach more people who are suffering in silence, who are lacking information, who are doing everything wrong while thinking they're doing it right. And please, share this video with someone you love. That family member, friend, neighbor you know has fatty liver, diabetes, high blood pressure, is over 50, and needs this information that can literally save their health and their life. Comment below with your TGO and TGP levels if you have the tests handy, or comment if you've tried to reverse fatty liver and haven't succeeded, because I want to understand what's happening with you and help you. And don't worry, because in the next video, I'll be talking about the 5 foods you think are healthy but are actually destroying your liver without you realizing it. And one of them will shock you because it's on every healthy eating list on the internet. You can't miss this video. Until then, take care of your health, hydrate intelligently, and remember, you have the power to reverse your fatty liver. You just need the right information and the determination to apply it. I believe in you, and I'm here to guide you. A hug, and see you in the next video.